Okay guys, we're getting in early once again for the meeting on Caulfield Cup Day in Hobart on Saturday. 7 race cards, smallish fields once again, but I think we'll be able to find a couple here. Beginning in the first, not surprisingly, but just the housekeeping. Rail True, good for at the moment. I think it's meant to be a bit of rain today, which is Thursday. But the forecast for the next couple of days is okay, so we'd imagine we can probably sort of work around a good 4. You know, if it a little bit more rain than expected, you probably get a soft 5 at worst. So anyway, as I said, I'm pretty keen on one in the first in a race that's dominated by Scott Brunton runners. So they've got 5 in it. You got like Mandela Effect was good on debut, but the one I've set on here was Street Tough, who was unbelievably impressive at the trials on Tuesday. We might just go and have a look at that. So I think it was trial 5. Yep, here it is here. So we'll just, help if we play. So he draws in close in the red and white colour, so he wasn't the quickest to begin, but muster through. And there's a bit of depth in this race. It was a maiden C1. You've got some pretty handy horses like Weekend Whiskey, Lord Derby, Chase and Status. And he dead set smashes them. So if you just have a look here, like Jason Maskew just sort of swinging on it as a good look around. Obviously aware that it's racing this week, so doesn't want to bust it, and it just jogs the last 200 metres. And as I said, there's a bit of ability in these ones behind it. It's just fair trotted in. I expect it to be winning. If we give a look at the form, like it's drawn barrier 1. It's never, it's one thing when they race in Hobart, barrier 1, you're always a bit nervy, but as we said, rails in the true, it is race 1, track's good. So in the world of being concerned, I'm probably right at the lower end of barrier 1 being a major drawback. Might even be advantageous at the start of the day anyway. Well bred, what is he? So he's out of Butter Street, who's the dam of Hell of a Street, so obviously don't need me to explain the deeds of him. So pretty keen we can kick off the winner in race 1, and be very surprised if he gets beaten if it runs up to its trial actually. Second also looks a good thing in General Sussex. The problem might be getting on. Got beaten in a 1,000-metre race on the synthetic track and it looked a good thing beaten, and then got out to 1200 last time in Launceston on a track that was hugely lead and fence dominated. It was actually the best run all night of anything that came wide. Form from the race, Rossover and Clean Achiever both ran very well again on Wednesday night. Only beat him like half a length. The 5th horse from the race came out and won on Wednesday night. Gets out to 1400. Draws well. Ticks a lot of boxes. The problem's going to be getting on. I've never been a great odds-on punter anyway. Pretty thin race. If we look at the rest, we're probably looking at Kandahar was okay when it resumed. Obviously you've got to have a question mark with ex-Victoria and Modern Dane first up for Brunton stable. And Copper Alley Bay wasn't too bad on debut, but very difficult to see General Sussex being beaten. But as I said, it's going to be a good things price. The third, it's a tricky race this. First glimpse, you probably look at Taramaya, but if you look at her form, good track form, 8 starts to 1 placing, so it's a good record at the track and definitely going well enough. Katie Cat was very good last time. Katun's super consistent, you can see with the form. I think Cheers Chappie was okay. It's just a very tricky race. There's one here that actually, Flash Missile, It ran near last first up, but its sectionals are very good. Draws to get a soft run. Just even that's sort of very tiny, more place than win, just for an interest. It's just got no confidence in the race at all, so just have a tiny interest bet. Might be sort of running home into third, fourth, that type of thing. So fourth, I hate these 2400 metre races. A lot of them been coming off wet track races as well. Looking at weights, bi-directional actually gets them pretty well with the claim. You see beat home into the night last time and think it meets at 2 kilos better. Another brother's another one whose best form's definitely on wet tracks. So forced to pick one bi-directional, but never been my cup of tea, the staying races. The fifth is a red hot race. This you can make a case for 6 or 7 of them. I'm leader of the fan club, but Kissimer, you can probably also put him down in the wet track basket, but his 2-run sense of spell have been unbelievably good. Draws to get the type of run he loves, so happy to be on, not sort of brimming with confidence, but you've got, if we just work from the bottom, Rubinick's won its last 2, kept it, sort of looked a little bit unlucky not to win last time. Turtle's Nest got beaten and ran a short price favourite. Life on the Wire to a head. Bedrock Dreams was super last time. Like the top 2, Odessa led. Delaterra's been trialling well. So, but forced to pick one. Kissimer will probably do me. The 6th, the Goodwood Handicap, super race. When we look at the weights, 61 kilos is never a gimme, but I actually don't think either of the top 2 are too badly off at the weights. Over the 1100, Lord Da Vinci's just probably got more natural speed than Hell of a Street. So just leaning his way. If it turns into a bit of a dogfight though, Hell of a Street will certainly be up for it. Obviously that, but I just think he's probably the one, Lord Da Vinci, but just not sure, not confident enough to take the likely price. Both the GGs here, 3 and 4, went well when they resumed. I think they'd both stripped fitter, but only getting a couple of kilos off the top 2 might be a bit of an issue. And also did like the trial of GG Double D, but she's drawn the outside gate and first go in open company, so just be interested to see how she goes from there. But forced to pick one again, we'll just go Lord Da Vinci. And the last, I was really keen on Gladstone on Wednesday night, and the way the track played, he might have been mighty hard to beat. But I'm actually going down the bottom, like it seems strange, like look, Earl Da Vinci's a 64 rater taking on much higher rated horses. Won a pretty plain Class 1 event last time, so it's way up in grade. Draws the outside gate, but a roll forward, and is with Gladstone, Cool Cash, Catalyst Fire. You've got a few stayers here. He'll get back, so should be able to slot in. So happy to be honest. I think he's a progressive type going forward, even though it was a pretty plain race. He was very strong on the line last time, so the extra distance is huge in his favour. You can see in New Zealand he's been going at 2300, so he's going to keep coming all the way. Obviously Catalyst Fire was my best bet last week, and she did the job, so we can't. And the extra distance is in her favour as well. So, and obviously Gladstone with the claim, he doesn't get in too badly. So, yeah, but happy to back Earl Da Vinci. I just think he's probably the progressive type, most progressive one out of the race going forward. So, anyway, that'll do. So, just recapping, just work backwards. Earl Da Vinci and Lord Da Vinci in the last couple. Something Kissimer, not busting the bank on him, even though he's caught the eye. It's just one of those races, whichever one, you make case for 6 or 7, whichever one gets the right run in transit's probably going to win it. Bi-directionally forced to pick one. Not keen on this race at all, as I mentioned. Just as a bit of a roughie, something on Flash Missile. I think it ran the second quickest last 400 of the race last time, even though it's got the big 0 next to its name. It was a race where they jumped out and walked and then dashed home from the 600, so everything at the back lost sight of the law. So it was actually a lot better than the 0 suggests, but yeah, it's not something I can recommend jumping into with huge confidence. General Sussex just looks immoral, but he's probably going to be a morals price, so that leaves us with the best bet in the first. I don't think we're going to get great value here either, but geez, I like that trial. And from barrier 1, even if he begins a little bit slowly as he did in the trial, you can still see him mustering up using that inside draw, and I do expect him to be winning, so we'll make the best on. It's actually a good card despite the small fields. So race 1, number 7, Street Tough. So anyway guys, we'll wrap it up there. So until next Wednesday night in Lonnie, we'll leave it there and chat to you soon. Thanks again.